Keep Tahoe Blue was founded in 1957 by a group of concerned citizens who banded together in response to some unchecked development that was happening at the time. Some housing was being built on the largest wetland in the Sierra Nevadas, the Upper Truckee Marsh, and there were plans for a 4-lane high-speed highway all around Lake Tahoe, with a bridge across Emerald Bay. Luckily, thanks to this group of citizens who got together, they were able to stop that bridge across Emerald Bay, and we have one of the most photographed areas in the United States. And it's absolutely beautiful. You should definitely come to Lake Tahoe and check out Emerald Bay if you haven't already. And if you have, you know exactly what I mean.
Well, I've been in Tahoe for 22 years, and I'm an avid environmentalist, and especially protecting Tahoe. Because if you know what the original plans were, it was a disaster. We were supposed to be the next Denver. And because of Keep Tahoe Blue and other organizations, they protected it. And that has made our lake amazing, and I'd like to be part of that and to help out to keep the lake amazing and the whole surroundings, not just the lake.
Since then, over the past 61 years, we've had so many major accomplishments, such as getting sewage pumped out of the basin and forming the bi-state agency, Tahoe Regional Planning Agency, in order to get consistent rules and regulations between California and Nevada in order to protect Lake Tahoe.
More recently, we've added a lot of educational components, as well as collaborative efforts like Snapshot Day today, where we bring a lot of community members and partners together to go out, explore, gather data, and learn about Lake Tahoe's beautiful environment.
Today, over 80 volunteers have gathered to collect water quality samples for the 18th annual Tahoe Truckee Snapshot Day, so that we have these 18 years of data to assess restoration efforts and to pinpoint problems within the watershed.
Keep Tahoe Blue brings together groups of, I like to call them volunteer scientists. So we don't have to know anything. We have children, we have adults that aren't scientists, we have just regular old people. And we go out to all the different creeks that flow into Lake Tahoe, and we take measurements. So the measurements we take are temperature and salinity and dissolved oxygen, turbidity, so all kinds of measurements that help determine whether the lake is going to stay clear, which is what we want. We want a clear lake. And because they've been doing it for 18 years, they have measurements to see if things have changed. And then they can take action, be proactive to make sure that we can deal with anything that might be an issue.
At first, our efforts were really battling those development projects, and then over time, especially over the last 5 years or so, the League has worked to be much more collaborative in approaching and solving the challenges that are here in Tahoe. So the biggest challenges that we like to focus on are the clarity loss in Lake Tahoe due to fine sediment pollution coming mostly from urban areas.
And that comes from the sanding that happens when there is snowfall, and we put sand down for protection for the drivers, which is super important, but also it does end up in Lake Tahoe along with degrading roads as more people are driving over them. So all of that fine sediment that is smaller than the human hair is ending up in Lake Tahoe, and it stays suspended as Lake Tahoe is constantly mixing. And so that really degrades the water quality in Lake Tahoe.
And then also aquatic invasive species, focusing on aquatic invasive plants that have invaded specific areas of the lake, including some marinas, the Tahoe Keys, and are spreading to other areas of the lake. So we are working collaboratively with agencies to prevent the spread of those invasive species as well.
If we can reduce the amount of pollution from stormwater runoff, we can help control the aquatic invasive species. And then more recently, climate change has been rearing its ugly head and really warming up the lake waters, which are exacerbating all those other problems. So we really need to address climate change if we hope to save Lake Tahoe.
Possibly the biggest threat to Lake Tahoe right now is climate change.
And we want to make sure that we can mitigate these changes that are happening, such as warming water temperatures and the snowpack, less snowpack around Lake Tahoe, because with the warmer water temperatures and less snowpack, we're having less drinking water for the area, less recreation area for people when they come to visit, and also the warmer waters allow invasive species to thrive.
Our main campaigns are combating pollution, tackling invasive species, promoting restoration of our sensitive lands, and protecting Tahoe's shoreline. We do that through our advocacy work, so we advocate for strong environmental protections. We educate the community and the millions of visitors about why it's important to protect the lake and how they can do that. And then we collaborate with our agency partners and many others in Lake Tahoe that love this place to do the right thing and set a good example for everybody else. And hopefully the lessons we've learned here at Tahoe can be used at other beautiful places that are facing the same impacts.
So my role at Keep Tahoe Blue is to engage the community about the issues affecting Lake Tahoe's water quality and clarity and how to be part of the solution. It's really awesome. Every day I get to work with volunteers in our volunteer program and get outside and learn more about Lake Tahoe and basically work on projects like here today, our Tahoe Forest Stewardship Day. All the volunteers are out here planting woodrows, planting willow stakes to ensure that the banks are stabilized along the river. We're also watering plants that are already existing. We're also cutting pines to ensure that they don't grow and encroach on marsh plants. And we're also removing invasive weeds. It's important to have events like today so that we ensure that we don't have terrestrial invasive weeds spreading in the area where it's a natural filter for Lake Tahoe in our marshes. And it's important that we stabilize the banks so we don't have sediment flowing into Lake Tahoe, because we want to ensure that we have great water quality and clarity to keep Tahoe blue.
Lake Tahoe is, in my opinion, the prettiest place in all of California. The Yosemite people might not agree with it, but I really think we are. It is a beautiful lake. If you've been there, I like to kayak on the lake and swim and to just look down and see 30, 40 feet down, all the way to the bottom. It's crystal clear, pristine, and we need to keep it that way. If we lose that, then we get a big mud pile and you can't see anything and it's gross and it smells bad. So it's our job as humans to protect nature.
What I think is the greatest potential for protecting Tahoe is the collaboration and the partnerships in this basin. The Tahoe Basin has agencies from the federal government, Nevada and California, as well as local and regional, county and city and other agencies. The League, working with these many partners, we can really protect Lake Tahoe and keep it blue for now and for future generations.
I can tell you what's important about keeping Tahoe blue is this guy, huh? Do you like it here in Tahoe?
Yeah.
Yeah? What is it called? Where are we? Right there, you gonna point at it? Tahoe blue, that's right. So he was born here in Lake Tahoe like my other kid, and I just came here my entire life, and this place has always been beautiful. I want to make sure when he's my age that it's still beautiful and his kids and all his friends and everyone else can enjoy this same place, because it wouldn't be fair for someone like me to be able to enjoy it but then ruin it for everyone else. So he's enjoying it so far, and he helped out at Snapshot Day today, and he comes to all our volunteer stuff. Oh, buddy. Yeah? What's your favorite part of Keep Tahoe Blue? Emerald Bay? Right on, man. Lake Tahoe is one of the most beautiful places on Earth, and in fact is on par with many of our national parks. The difference is that we're not a national park, even though we have the visitorship of the 3 most visited national parks combined. That means everybody that comes to Lake Tahoe, all 24 million of them each year, have to do a little bit of their part to protect it. Because it's not a national park, we also get to do a lot of fun things we can't do in other places, like ski and boat and live here, which I appreciate with my kids and my family. But again, there's a responsibility for us to protect it. So Lake Tahoe is like nowhere else. It's beautiful, but we can have fun and be ourselves here. But it's our responsibility to not love it to death. And that's what Keep Tahoe Blue is all about.
Lake Tahoe is a national treasure, and it's really incredible how clear it is. It's one of the clearest lakes in the United States, and it's just so unique. And many people from all over the world come to see it. So we want to make sure that it stays as clear as possible, and that's what it means to keep Tahoe blue.
We encourage you to come on out and join us and have some fun. See you soon.